Well, I forgot to turn on the auto switch from the countdown. So, good morning, everyone. How are you? You've turned your mic off.
What's up, JC?
Good morning. How are you, Reptar?
I'm good. Boring day today, guys, as you can tell by the thumbnail.
Meh.
Very meh.
Yeah, not a whole lot interesting going on in the crypto world. We'll get into what little bit is going on and what's going on with the markets, and we'll do our typical, run through the news. But I am on some not Benadryl, but something like Benadryl because the twice a year, like when it goes from fall to winter, like that temperature change, and then when it goes from winter to spring, the temperature change just wrecks my sinuses. And it's not so much like,
That was weird.
yeah, I just dropped connection for just a second. I think my camera, but
Strange.
anyway, I just lose. It's not an allergen so much as it is the drastic temperature swings really just messes me up. So yeah, now we go. Hi, Ice. Good morning.
Good morning, guys, in the chat. So, I guess we should start with the bubbles.
I guess why not? That's because that's what we do.
Ice, Mr. Gray, welcome.
Good
Oof,
morning.
brutal.
How about that? Do you like apples? How about them apples?
A damn.
Ugh. Hey, Night Token.
Privacy token still doing very well. It's interesting. Ooh, good week. Just came out too, guys. I mean, up already 25%.
Yeah, but just remember that when it came out at 30 cents. It ramped up to what, $2 and then fell down to 6 cents. So let's just remember that.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when new tokens launch, guys. We see a insane price action, and then it kind of dies right out after the early people sell. So
I have a purchase order, I have a limit order set at 6.5 cents. I want me some H bar for 6.5 cents.
I don't know, man. I mean, it really could drop down that far. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of volatility lately, so I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, what's Bitcoin at right now? I didn't even check before we hopped on.
66. It dropped down to 65, 700 there for a minute. Several TA guys are calling this the bottom. Other TA guys are saying we could have another leg down. I don't know.
I mean, even if we do have another leg down, I mean, it's not going to be anything substantial. I don't think. I think we've seen most of the bottom, so to speak. But
Yeah, you got a few people calling for, into the 50s, maybe.
render down 6%. A lot of these AI projects are getting killed today.
Yep, a lot of everything's getting killed today, and whatever. I mean, that's really how I feel about it at this point. Like, just whatever. All right, Coin Market Cap's not going to look great. That's what it was yesterday, so let's refresh and see what happens. Oh, 2.28. Ouch. Lost 40. Well, I mean, that's just 40 billion in market cap. That's not even that. We're at 11. What were we at yesterday? 8?
I think it was 12, honestly.
12.
Yesterday.
Yeah, we were a little higher yesterday. It was 12. You can see we got all the way down to 5. We're going to hang out down here until things start moving up. But like we talked about yesterday, the big boys are buying right now.
And if you buy an extreme fear, historically, you've done very well when markets come back. So
yeah, March still showing not going to have a rate cut. I'll go ahead and jump into the first story because it has to do with that. Initial jobless claims just came out this morning. The forecast jobless claims was 223. It came in at 206. So jobless claims are declining. A strong jobs backdrop equals less urgency for Fed cuts. So yeah, that's why we're not seeing the odds of a Fed cut go up.
well, I mean, we did kind of just have 3 of them. So at this point, I mean, yeah, it'd be nice, but I think it's kind of like greedy to expect another one before rate cuts in a row. It's pretty.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're going to have some drastic economic numbers come in for Powell to do anything, and he's gone. I believe at the end of May. So after that, we did look. The odds of a June cut are the odds of no June cut are only 40%. So 60% chance of a cut in June. So yeah. Let's see if I want to do this one first. Okay. Yeah. We bring this up anytime we see it. I know they show a picture of Barron Trump. We have no idea if it's Barron Trump or not, but an alleged Trump insider with 100% win rate just opened a new long. This guy goes long and short pretty regularly, so I'm guessing he's just scalping. He's not making like huge. I mean, obviously he's making a lot of money because he's doing it with $66 million, but I don't know.
It's funny because last time he opened up a short was we saw that giant crash, that huge liquidation event a couple weeks ago. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's definitely interesting to see what the big money's doing because they're rarely wrong. So today might be the day to open up a long, guys.
Not financial advice. You do your research, understand leverage trading, and understand your levels. And we don't do that. We don't do that here. This was a great explanation of something we talked about yesterday, which is why I pulled it up. So let me share this with you from Stellar News 007. What the hell is wash trading? That just happened with XRP and with all of the crypto. But if you're in crypto, you need to know this manipulation trick. And I'm going to get to so many exchanges run market making desks, and they offer leverage futures. Like you can buy and sell crypto on leverage from them. They also have market makers that run algos. So how does wash trading work? During low liquidity periods, like when there's not a lot of money coming in, it's easier to move price because there's less stuff for sale. Like people are like, I'm not going to sell it right now. So there's no sell orders. So like, hey, if we throw some money in or we sell, we can make a greater impact on the price. So then you have people who are trading looking at all these different levels and they go, if it breaks this, I'm going to go long. If it breaks this, I'm going to go short. If it does this pattern, I'm going to do this. And so they manipulate the pattern. How does a centralized exchange do that? Well, they buy or sell to make the price start moving. So here's the XRP wash trading on Binance. Oh, look, Binance, you don't say. The price was pushed up fast to about $1.67 to trigger FOMO and leverage entries. People go, oh, okay, it crossed my threshold. It looks like it's moving good. I'm going to make a leveraged long. Okay. And then as people keep piling in and piling in and piling in and piling in, the Binance market maker goes, sells 40 million, and all of those longs get liquidated.
And when we say things like liquidated, guys, basically what's happening is the price is getting to a point where the people who are making the bets that it's going to go up, let's say, they push the price down to where they have to sell their position to pay the exchange. So they lose their money essentially.
Because they borrowed, they had $10 and Binance gave them $100. So they got 10x leverage. Well, if the price, if they bet that Bitcoin is going to go up and Bitcoin goes down by 10%, well, that's their entire $10 gone.
And before you lose any of the money you borrowed, they take your collateral and they close the trade. So bless you, JC. So essentially, guys, they're making very big moves with a lot of money.
So they take their money and drive the price up. And people go, oh, hey, it's moving up. Well, they're just buying and trading themselves. They're buying and selling their money. They're not like, it's not me buying in or them buying my crypto. They're buying their own crypto from themselves. and that makes volume increase. And as they push the price up, in the case of a long, people look at the charts and go, oh, volume is increasing, price is going up. Here's my levels where I wanted to get a good long entry. Oh, it just crossed over that. Let me go long. And then they're like, okay, and someone else sees it, and someone else sees it. So people are like, oh, long, with volume, rising prices. Let's go long, let's go long, let's go long. It's fake volume, and it's fake price action. And so then the exchange goes, sell. And all of those longs, that money gets liquidated, which means it goes where? To the exchange.
Yeah, you got to be very, very careful, especially leverage trading, just because it's kind of like betting at a casino. The house always wins eventually, so.
But I wanted to go further because we talked about that briefly yesterday, and I thought this particular post was actually a really good explanation to give an example of how that would work and why it works. Yeah, moving on, we do have a Clarity meeting today. Where is it? So Brian Armstrong said, I believe this was yesterday, last night, that their market structure is making great progress. They're closing on a win-win-win, win for crypto, win for banks, win for the consumer. That is good news. The Poly Market is showing 90% odds that this deal will pass by April. Several Brad Garlinghouse and several representatives in Congress, or the Senate, I should say, are indicating the same thing.
And guys, everybody wants this to pass. The Senate, the House, the government. The only ones that don't really want it to pass are the banks. And they still want it to pass because they're going to make money, but they want it to be in a state that they are not threatened.
Right.
So,
They want this Clarity Act to make sure that really central exchanges do not replace them as banks. I think that's all they're trying to do, is to get that surety. I want to point this out. Today is the third stablecoin yield meeting, the third Clarity Act meeting at the White House. There was a meeting of some of the big boys last night at Mar-a-Lago. Today, it looks like the attorneys are meeting. Stuart Alderati is the attorney for Ripple. So it looks like maybe, I'm just speculating, maybe there was a general agreement last night over dinner, and now the lawyers are going to get together and hammer out the exact wording and details. That's just speculation on my part, but with the lawyers meeting and not the heads of the banks or the heads of the crypto exchanges meeting, I don't think that's an unfair conclusion.
no, 100%, especially when the lawyers are the ones that kind of read through the changes of when they tried to push through those amendments to the first edition of the Clarity Act. So the lawyers are really doing the most right now.
Speaking of Brian Armstrong and Coinbase adds XRP, Cardano, LTC as collateral for on-chain loans. You can now DeFi with your XRP, your Cardano, or your Litecoin. You could already loan out or get a loan against your Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's how the big boys do it. They have an asset, they take out a loan against it and make money with that. And that way they only pay any profits that they get off of that loan. The loan is not income. So if you take out $1 million loan and you make $100,000, you pay taxes on $100,000, even though you have $1 million worth of crypto.
Exactly. It's a little cheat code for people who, have this kind of money to be able to lend out or borrow against. Morpho.
So, Ice, why don't you tell the people watching why what I just highlighted is important? Morpho on Base.
I was skeptical about Base Chain at first, but it's really doing a lot, to be honest. And just its association with Coinbase, obviously, is huge.
Let's go up here and see if there is a correlated movement. There's not. I would have expected, because they're going to be doing this on the base chain, and Arrow is the DEX token, guys. For Coinbase, I'm sorry, Arrow is the DEX token for Coinbase. I know we're down here. Long term,
Like, I just really feel like people aren't paying attention, because even with the FedEx news with H bar, I mean, we didn't see a lot of price movement. We saw a nice candle and then it kind of, retraced, but retail's not really in right now. And there are projects out there that are just doing so much incredible development, and they're really making big partnerships and no one's paying attention. Like, this is the time where if you're in, you're going to do very well.
guys. This Coinbase, a centralized exchange, is allowing everyone to do what the big boys have been doing to protect their wealth for hundreds of years. Take out loans against your assets so you're not paying taxes and you're not having to sell them. This is how you don't pay taxes. This is how the billionaires never pay taxes. They don't have any income. If you have $1 million in USDC, I'm sorry, if you have $1 million worth of XRP in the Coinbase ecosystem and you want to take out a loan against it as collateral, that loan is not income. You're not going to pay. You don't pay taxes on a loan.
It's insane that that Coinbase really is becoming kind of like the replacement for the banks. And I mean, granted, Coinbase is a bank technically, but I think it's showing the shift, which is really interesting, because Coinbase just keeps offering more and more. They had perpetuals first, and they had the predicted betting. Now they're adding borrowing with new assets. Like, they just keep adding features, and I really think that people are going to start paying more attention.
Yep. What else we got today? I did see this. Actually, I want to do this first. This is from Mark Chadwick X. Let's see who this guy is. Entrepreneur and investor dropping digital asset updates daily. Do your own research, not financial advice. 20,000 followers. Okay, so I don't know if he has any industry credibility or not, whatever. But he is pointing out that the altcoin to Bitcoin chart just printed its first sustained green MACD, which is a technical analysis term. I'm not going to get into that. For 2 consecutive months. That's a big deal. So these are monthly candles of all the altcoins versus Bitcoin. So you can see, this is interesting to me. If these are monthly candles, this goes back a long time. This is altcoins to Bitcoin. So we could...
It's like 3 years roughly.
We could since this is breaking this line, this trend line. Now, I would expect, based on my limited technical analysis, that you might get a retest of this line before you go up, but it's above it right now. And it is above it at about, 90% of the way through this wedge. Anyway, something of note. I thought it was interesting because it is flipping over. You can see here, like at this point where it flipped over, it went up, and it hasn't really crossed back over since we started the downturn, unless if you draw it like this, where it touches here, then you've got a little bit up and it goes down. So you redraw. I mean, you could conceivably, as we get a few more candles, you can redraw it through here. I mean, whatever. So just interesting.
So the MACD is, I'm reading here in the chat. Thank you, Mr. Mark. It's the moving average convergent convergence, divergence. Say that a million times. Essentially, yes. Thank you, JC. I was going to try and put it up on the screen, but I couldn't. It's a trend. Really, the takeaway from this, guys, and it's breaking out of a trend that it's been in for 3 years. So, something's coming. I mean, every single indicator, every single metric, every single macro and micro event that's going on in the news right now, it's all pointing towards one thing. It just sucks seeing everything down as much as it is. But
here's another thing that points to bullishness. The Fed Reserve just pumped another $18.5 billion into the U.S. banking system this week through overnight repos. This is the fourth largest liquidity injection since COVID, and surpasses even the peak of the dot-com bubble. Probably fine, Karen. Yeah. So when they put money into the ecosystem, it does take time to cycle through. And I believe you could look for a, correct me if I'm wrong on this, guys, because I'm pulling this off the top of my head, like a 4 to 6 month delay from money comes in to money actually starts hitting the system, and like we see stocks and risk on assets going up. 4 to 6 months. Does that sound right?
it makes sense. Kind of what we saw during COVID. A lot of the stimulus money didn't really start affecting things until months out. It takes time for people to spend money and to move money. So.
Well, and they didn't give you and me money. They gave the banks money. And so the banks have to loan it out, and loans take time. And the people that take out the initial loans are rolling it into safer stuff, and then they take their profits and they roll that into less safe stuff. Anyway, I wanted to point out that $18.5 billion. This is also from Mark Chadwick here. Is that the same guy? Nope, that's bar chart, and this is Mark Chadwick. All right. 18 billion through temporary open market operations repo. After years of quantitative tightening, the balance sheet has flipped to expansion. That's right. They're throwing more money into the markets. That means it cycles. Yeah. Mr. Gray says that sounds about right. 4 to 6 months. PMI above 50. Clarity is coming. Trillions are waiting on the sidelines. That's what they say. They say they're just waiting. The banks and the institutions and the government is just waiting on regulations. They keep saying that. So we'll see. And he also points out the alt Bitcoin just printed 2 green monthly MACD candles with a bullish crossover for the first time in over 5 years. So from these levels, the 10x to 100x outliers we've seen in prior cycles can happen within a fraction of what rotated into gold and silver. That's true. Gold has a much higher market cap, therefore it requires more money to move the price of gold. And the price of gold went up astronomically. So think about all of the money that it took to move the price of gold that much.
If we see even a small amount of what happened with gold and silver happen with crypto, there's going to be 100 X's across the board. It's going to get crazy.
We're gonna be laughing about, oh gosh, you remember at the end of 2025 and the start of 2026, we were like, this sucks. You're like, yeah, well, we put up with it for 6 months, and now we're all, smoking Cuban cigars and sipping Mai Tais on each on our private islands. I'm sipping moon margaritas. I mean,
that's the hardest part about these markets is the wait, guys. It's really hard to keep your money in something and not touch it, and that's the biggest thing. So that's why we always say, it's not timing the markets. And I mean, a lot of people say this, but it's time in the markets. The longer you are invested, the longer you are in a project, the more likely you are to hit one of these 10 to 100x projects.
Right. I've got one other thing to bring up. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but I want to bring it up again, and that is AI plays. According to Dammy DeFi, who are you? Former marketing lead at global top 100 company. Easy to say. There's their link tree. If you want to do all that, not financial advice. Do your research, blah, 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 blah. The top 6 oversold quality AI plays. What do you think of this list?
I think every single one of them, minus FET. I'm not a huge fan of FET. Every single one of these projects are going to create so many millionaires. I mean, look how far they're down from their all-time high. And these are not crappy projects, guys. These aren't dying projects. These are some of the biggest, most promising AI projects in all of crypto. And it is shocking to see them at these prices. AI is, yeah, like the top, Tau is probably the biggest, Render second biggest, Near and ICP I'm hugely bullish on. Virtual is a good one too. But they're down almost 90%. And
Yep.
AI is the narrative right now. So,
And these are the top AI tokens. If I go over here, we go to CoinMarketCap, and I come over here, and that's not what I want. What do I want? That name, now
we're
Filecoin's
cut
not
off a
off.
little bit. That's why, JC.
Oh, hang on. Here we go.
Like at this point, I don't think it's even possible, not financial advice, but I don't even think it's possible to lose money on these projects at this point. Like,
Yep. So, FET, Virtual, Render, ICP, Near, and Tau are all in the top 100. I just like,
it does not make sense. But Render under $2, damn.
yep. I mean, do your own research, figure out which ones of these, if you want to make an AI play.
I mean, ICP was at $400. It's
I
at
don't know that it
$2.
goes back to that, but that would
Yeah.
be nice. That'd be a 200x. So if you put in $1,000 and you got out at the all-time highs, you'd be looking at almost $200,000. That's a
Yeah.
good return.
The opportunity is there, guys. Just find these big projects, look at the ones that are down way more than they should be, and just hold because it's coming.
I've got orders in, like I said, on HBAR at 6.5 cents. I have 3 XRP orders, $1.15, $1.10, and $1.01, just in case it taps the dollar.
I'm so ready. If it goes below it, if it goes to $1, yeah, I'm in hard on Render for sure. That's.
And then one last thing, I saw this, I was like, okay, cool. Let me go back here. So I was scrolling through, and I'm like, Elon Musk announces the launch of X's own digital X digital currency. More information. Here's the status. We got tagged in this. That's why I saw it. X platform introduces X wallet and opens the X coin pre-sale. Well, that's cool because Elon Musk did talk about, opening crypto onto X, and we know he wants it to be the one app that rules them all. Okay, that makes good sense. So yeah, they're opening a wallet. X underscore wallet underscore coin, a commentary account. Oh, look, it's X. It's not X.
Yeah, guys, this looks sus.
Xwalletcrypto.io. This is a wallet draining scam. Okay?
And that's the thing, guys. Most of the time, they will take something that they know is true or something that people are waiting for, and they'll make some kind of announcement. And
because that's what we all want. We all want to be the first one in, because the first people in are the ones that make the money. You get in on the token pre-sale and you dump all over the ICO. Like, that's what Midnight did. You got your Midnight token with airdrops, and as soon as it went public and went live, people ran it up to $2 and dumped the hell out of it.
And some of these are legitimate, but definitely ask, guys. Look in the comments before you click on stuff. Hop in the Discord, ask questions. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
This is how you know it's a scam. Why would they name their account X? Because they want you to think it's the official account of X.
And it had a blue check mark. They did nice.
But X has a gold check mark. But if you look at their name, it's xwallet.com. This is a scam. Okay. Oh, you can't see that. I took it off the screen. All right, that's all I got. I need to take some more allergy medicine, and that's probably going to knock me out. So.
JC is going to be in a small coma. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I know kind of boring today, not a lot of news going on, but it is what it is. We'll be in the Discord. We have an interview with our artist today, so
yeah, we'll get that recorded and hopefully get that posted for you soon.
Yeah, we'll have some information about the NFT and a little bit about Ben, the Marvel DC Rockstar Games artist that is working with us for the project. So we'll get that out to you guys. And remember, hit all the buttons, leave a hate comment, do the things. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Yes, I know. I will do it right now, Mark. All right, I promise. I promise.
Have a great Thursday. We will see you in the morning. Chomp. Chomp.